Hey my friend, this is FIFINE's K688 microphone, and this is FIFINE's brand new Amplitank Tank 3, but what one should you buy? Let's dive straight in. So these two mics are similar in price, but the Amplitank Tank 3 is coming in just that little bit more expensive, around $15 or $20 more. Now if you get your hands on them straight away, you can feel where that money has gone. Because I remember when I reviewed this, one of the downsides of the K688 was it was rather noisy because it's got this rather cheap plastic housing, whereas the new Amplitank Tank 3, I'm pleased to say, is all metal, and it's not that kind of cheap metal either. It really does feel quite premium and solid. Input wise, these two microphones are pretty much identical, both except XLR and USB-C. They've also got two knobs, with the Amplitank Tank 3 there on the side, was there on the base of the K688. But the knobs on both of these microphones give you volume control over direct monitoring, which accepts a mini jack again on both microphones. There you go on that one. And the other knob gives you control over the gain when connected by USB-C. Something I also prefer on the Amplitank Tank 3 is that the mute button, which is available when you're connected via USB-C, is micro switched. It's actually a real button, whereas on the K688 it feels more like a smartphone touchscreen. You know, you can see where that extra $15 to $20 has gone. Now, the K688 has a removable windshield, which I actually ended up replacing, as I mentioned, when I was reviewing this microphone because the plosives became a bit of an issue. Now, FIFINE claim that's been addressed with our brand new Amplitank Tank 3 with an internal windshield. So I think it's time to get the microphones up on the stand. Let's take a listen. So here's the K688 up on the mic stand. This is the model which I reviewed a few months back, and I've been using it since for podcasting, for doing screen reviews and videos, and for getting on calls, and it's a very useful microphone to have in your studio. And when you compare it to the price of Shure's SM7, it is really quite a decent bang for your buck. As I mentioned at the top of the video, my one big gripe with it was that the windshield wasn't really fully adequate, and so I've ended up constructing a sort of two-in-one windshield here. There's another one inside another one, which does a great job of knocking out those plosives. And once I've fitted that and swapped it out for the windshield provided, whilst it doesn't look half as elegant as it does with this windshield, it definitely makes a big difference to those plosives. So we want to do a sound comparison, so let's get the Amplitank Tank 3 up on the stand. And here we are with the Amplitank Tank 3. Once again, I'm about an index finger's distance away from this microphone, typical distance if you're recording a podcast or on a call. Now, when I was checking this microphone out earlier, once again, I did find there to be a few issues with plosives, and whilst this microphone looks really nice without a windshield, I really still think that if you were doing a podcast, you'd really benefit from adding one. And with one added, once again, whilst it doesn't look half as stylish as the microphone does without one, it really does make a big difference to the recording. And I kind of wish that FIFINE would include one with these microphones so that you could have the option yourself whether you want to swap it in or out. So far, I've been connecting both of these microphones via the XLR input, but as I mentioned at the top of the video, this is a dual input microphone, as is the Amplitank Tank 3, which means you can connect it via USB-C with ease directly into your laptop or any other device like a PS4 or a PS5. When you do, on both these microphones, the mute button lights up and you can see it's red when it's activated, and when you're good to go and live, it goes green. Back using the Amplitank Tank 3 now, and I think actually both of these microphones are a really good choice if you're looking for a budget-friendly broadcast dynamic microphone. They're certainly going to save you a lot of money compared to buying a Shure SM7B, for example, which either of these microphones you could say are pretty closely styled on. I would say that the K688 certainly sounded a little bit heavier down there in the low mids, perhaps a little bit more muffled at times when you compare it to the more open and airy Amplitank Tank 3. What do you think about these two microphones? Which one do you prefer? Is it the Tank 3 or is it the K688? Let me know in the comments box below. Whilst you're there, if you're working with vocals, be that spoken word or singing, you'll find a super handy free vocal EQ cheat sheet. You can grab it right now. The link is below this video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video today, don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, if you want to check out either one of these two microphones, the Amplitank Tank 3 or the K688, you'll find links for these microphones below this video. Most importantly, my friend, Go and have yourself a great day.